All right, our book review segment this morning. Our first art chat as well. Bullying is a topic we're going to be tackling. It can be a difficult one for children to talk about, particularly when they fear being labelled as a tattletale, losing friends, perhaps also making a difficult situation even worse. But there's a new children's book, When We Speak Up, and it tackles that subject, the story of Lou and his classmates. Written by Nwabisa Jojo and illustrated by Afshan Yasin. The book carries a simple but powerful message. Be kind, be brave, and speak up. And Nwabisa joins us here to chat a little bit further. Good morning and welcome. Thank you for this offering.
Good morning. Good morning, Lisa, and good morning to your viewers at home.
We were chatting offline and we were saying, how do you take a concept and break it down to a simple level where children can understand? I think you've successfully done that. So thank you for penning thoughts to paper. When we look at the title itself, the narrative, When We Speak Up, you're not saying stop bullying. You're literally asserting a positive narrative that has authority and agency. So please tell us how this came to be for you.
Absolutely. So I've got a 12-year-old daughter that's at school. So often I'd hear all the stories that happen in the playground and all the playground drama, and that's how this idea came to mind. Actually, my daughter, who inspires me very much, she hates bullying, but she's a very strong character and she stands up for it. And I've seen how that changes everything for her. So I don't have to step in as a parent as much because she stands up for herself and she rallies her friends to stand up, and then the bullying does actually stop. So that's how this idea came to mind. And bullying is such an intense topic, right? So just to try and put it together in a children's book in a way that would understand, I had to share some drafts with her, just making sure that she understands the language is simple enough. And finally, we managed to get it right.
Well, through the tale of Lou and his friends at school and his love for superheroes, right? Obviously, not to give away too much, but the story unfolds through that. Talk to us about this cape that he dons and why was it such a befitting setting to tell it through that lens?
So, we often associate being a superhero with doing something big.
Absolutely.
But I just want to send out the messages. Sometimes just speaking up. When you see something wrong and speaking up, you are a hero in your own right. Yeah. You are able to be a hero in your sphere of influence, and you can be that. As a child in primary school, you are able to be a superhero and just rally everyone up to be superheroes with you.
Well, at the end, obviously, Lou speaks up, but I liked Aisha as well because she was the best friend. She listened. There was that gentle, quiet strength that actually encouraged him to speak up. So we're looking at the enabling environment, the supportive role as well, but even the bully himself, right? There's something happening at home in their personal capacity that we also need to then look at.
Sure. So I'm not of the view that everyone just wakes up being a bully. Obviously, something that does happen. And that's why it's so important to be a teachable character, right? So Aisha, you're right. Aisha does play a big role in a sense that she does encourage Lou to speak up. Because sometimes kids don't always have the strength. There's something that he says that's very powerful, that he says, I don't want to be a tattletale. Yeah. And that's what bullies usually leash on. They know that they can keep bullying you because you don't want to be a tattletale. Because in primary school, they make fun of you for being a tattletale. So that's how then bullying then grows and nobody speaks up. So when Aisha says, it's okay, you don't have to deal with this alone, then we am able to really get Lou to speak up and encourage others. Yeah. And like I'm saying, it is important to be a teachable character. So for the bully as well to say, do apologize. That apology is very important, but not just apology is change behavior. It's not just words. So after the apology, the behavior has to change, which is something that we do see in this book.
And that's where parents, caregivers also have to come and play their part. There's a nice activity at the end as well, for an interactive method for kids to also be part of it. I wonder if we can look at Afshan and the illustrator, because it's beautiful, it's colorful, it's energetic, it's beautifully done.
Thank you.
Talk to us about that synergy and how you would have met and then literally brought this to life.
Would you believe me if I told her I've actually never even met her in real life? So it was all virtual. So there's a website called Upwork for freelancers. So you put your ad out there in terms of what it is that you're looking for. They send their portfolios, and then you look at the portfolios and see the work that they've done and see which one has the possibility of just bringing your book to life. So we met, I took her through the brief, and there was a lot of back and forth, and also just like the timelines as well. She's not not based in South Africa. So there's a lot of back and forth. No, not this facial expression, not these colors, make this brighter, make this one more surprise. So there was a lot of back and forth. It's a lot of work that goes into illustrations just before just bringing it into life. So she managed to do a stellar job of that.
I agree.
But you
Absolutely.
must be very detailed. Every line must be detailed. When this is happening, this is the background, these are the colors, this is what this one is wearing. It's a lot of work.
Well, clarity is kindness.
Absolutely.
And this is what we learn about bullying as well, and communication.
Absolutely.
I wonder, even if we look at the courage your own children would have given you to pen thoughts to paper, your own personal journey. Do you want to divulge a little bit more, perhaps in the dedication itself it comes through?
Sure. Like I said, Uya's Tanda inspires me because she's such a strong character. But also we've got a new addition to our family.
Exactly.
His name is Shamela. Thank you.
Oh.
He's 3 months old, and somehow that just made me feel like I actually need to step up and, you know, play my part in making this world a better place for him. Like I said, the character building does happen there. So hopefully by the time he gets to primary school, this book would have gone to all the schools, which is actually my target market. My wish is for this book to be in every school out there. I have even reached out to the Department of Education, but also reaching out to private schools as well. It is such an important book for primary schools because it doesn't only cover literacy, but also life skills as well. So it's a nice balance between the two. So it would definitely be an asset for primary schools.
Absolutely. I just want to know if the venture continues with Lou, because if you've done this one book, you've tackled one topic, what else can we expect? Is that too much pressure at this point?
Not really. I have thought about it.
Okay,
I know
okay.
I'm still fairly new at being an author. This is my first book. But, you know, I'm of the view that our literacy books that we cover in schools should cover our current realities. So maybe things like body positivity, there's a lot of social media now, and you know, there's something called FOMO, fear of missing out. Yeah. So I want to tell that the opposite with, like the joy of missing out, so not following every trend. So those are the ideas that I have in mind for now. But yeah. Okay. Let's see what happens. You know?
But it continues. Thank you, Nwabisa, for joining us and for penning thoughts to paper, paying homage to your kids who are your real-life superheroes who have now inspired you to do this, and wishing all the best of luck. Let's see how it impacts our nation at large.
Thank you. It is recently available on Amazon.co.za now. Okay. But also, like I said, my intention is to get it to school. So if there's anyone in schools listening out there, please do reach out to me on When We Speak Up, 26@gmail.com. But yeah.
Okay. Well,
thank you very much.
That's where we leave it. When We Speak Up, as you heard, written by Nwabisa Jojo, just reminding us to be kind, to be brave, and to speak up. Again, thank you for joining us here.
Absolutely. Thank you.